And now we're connected with Mr. Dino Kusnadi, Deputy Chief of Mission Indonesian Embassy to China and accredited to Mongolia.
Yes, but before we get into the interview, let us wish them all a very happy Eid Mubarak to you and to the staff of Indonesian Embassy and Indonesians living in China. Once again, have a very happy Eid al-Fitr.
Happy Eid al-Fitr, Pak Dino.
Pak Dino, can you hear us?
Yes, hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Minal aidin wal faizin.
Minal aidin wal faizin.
Yeah.
And also, mohon maaf lahir batin, as we say it in Indonesian. Pak Dino, probably this is the same thing that we've been asking to our brothers and sisters everywhere around the world. How was actually the Eid celebration in Beijing, China?
Well, Beijing, similar to other world, we are very relieved that we are now going back to the old days of just having a gathering, face-to-face meetings, and just accepting a lot of our Indonesians back to the embassy to celebrate together Eid.
How many Indonesians living in China in its entirety, Pak Dino?
Well, for the moment, we are still doing our counting because many people are just arriving, coming back into China. And that also, this coincides with our updating our data for the upcoming elections next year. But if I can guess, I think there's a good 2,000 Indonesians now that are returning back or just here in mainland China, 2,000.
All right, but we know that this year's Eid falls on Saturday, right? And
True.
the second day is on Sunday. But other than now, is Eid al-Fitr a national holiday in China usually?
Well, China recognizes the existence of religion, including Islam. They also, I think, have a lot of mosques under the National Heritage Buildings Code. For instance, the Mosque Nuji, that's in Beijing. It's one of the largest and also one of the oldest. It was built in around 991. And that we often stop by and just enjoy the food and atmosphere around the mosque because they have a lot of Islamic food there. But our celebrations at the embassy was very, very festive. It was co-organized not just with the embassy but also with the Indonesian students in Beijing and also with Bank Indonesia in Beijing. So it's a concerted effort spearheaded by the society rather than the embassy. The embassy provided the place, but also we encourage people to get together and organize it together.
It is very relieving to hear what you have experienced during the Eid this year, Pak Dino, as we all know that China had relaxed the COVID restrictions only a couple of months ago. So how was it different, the Eid celebration this year now compared to during the pandemic?
Well, most of all, the health protocol changed, where before it was considered as an epidemic, now it's considered just as like a spreading of illness or sickness. So of course it lacks more the regulations for us to gather, and for the first time this year, the embassy can open the arrival of non-embassy staffs and so forth to come to the embassy. It means that it doubled the attendance of the people celebrating. Before it was only around 75 to 100 people. Now it tripled, I think, for the prayers we had around 150 to 200, and then during the celebrations, which was hosted by the ambassador. At any given time, at one point it reached around 300 people. But I think it was more than that because the food was all finished.
On that note, we want to know what food being served.
Of course, the basic food that everyone was craving for is the opor ayam, the rendang, the egg balado, and the sayur. Yeah, that's a staple. That's the basic. So we had that already much in stock. But
Yeah.
we also respected the local cuisine and food. But in the background, we also have kambing guling, which is a specialty from Xi'an. But we also have bebek, apa? Roast duck,
Yeah,
Peking duck.
roast duck and roast goose,
in
if
the
I'm
background.
mistaken, yeah?
What a special
So
feast.
both of them were also a hit, together with the staple Indonesian food. So we want them, when later on they move back home to Jakarta in Indonesia, we want them to remember, oh, in Beijing we not only had the staple food, but the Peking duck and the kambing guling was also to crave for. So we want them to create that kind of memory.
Wow, you put me in agony at the
I
moment.
know, but
Just
you should
listening to all those
Peking
foods.
duck
You
was
should see
excellent.
Hans's
It goes well
face.
for breakfast after the prayers.
Whoa.
You should try the Peking duck. Come
Wow,
to
the
Beijing.
Peking duck.
Wow, we are so jealous. We live in Indonesia, but we want to be there. By the way,
Yes, that was
Pak-
my intention, to create jealousy to you.
You wait for us to come for the next Eid next year,
we will
Padino.
definitely come. Padino, could
Consider
you
that
please?
as an open invitation.
Oh,
Please come
yes.
next year and do a special live show from Beijing next
Okay,
year.
so-
We're more than happy to do so.
The producer team, take a note on that. That was a formal invitation.
Yes, it was.
All right, Padino, probably last question from us. Do you have any other messages that you want to convey in this special celebration to Indonesian diaspora in Greater China and also in Mongolia?
Well, we want everyone, not just in Beijing and Mongolia, may the blessings of God fill our happiness and open all the doors of success now and always. We hope that during this kemenangan, the day of victory for us, can be lived through further, and that joy and happiness can be spread out.
That was so heartwarming.
Yes, it was. That was the last question from Hans. Now this is the last question from me. Padino, could you please give us a glimpse of what an Indonesian diaspora there in China, a typical day of Indonesian during Eid in China? What do they do throughout the day, the activities?
Well, it falls on a Saturday, so after the celebrations, of course, other family or friends are offering to either enjoy the day further or go to the park. It was a little bit nippy and cold yesterday. The temperature dropped somewhat, so you can see in the videos that people were wearing jackets.
Yes.
But it is a good spring day, and that you can continue on into the parks or just enjoy the cherry blossoms that is blossoming all over the city.
Wow.
So just enjoy the scenery. Is quite nice.
Wow.
Very nice. Cherry blossom.
We will go there,
We
right?
will go
Next
there.
year.
Okay. So the invitation is actually duly accepted.
Yes.
Padino, thank you so much for experience that you've shared with us, and
Thank
also
you,
thank you
guys.
so much for the invitation.
Thank you.
We will see you very shortly, and also please send our regards to the Indonesian embassy staff and also our brothers and sisters, Indonesian brothers and sisters there in China and Mongolia.
Thank you so much, and salam hangat dari Duta Besar Johari Oratmangun. He's currently also tripped to another visit outside of the city because the invitations is just overwhelming for us. He's already back to work.
Wow.
Wow, thank you so much. Please also send our regards to His Excellency. Thank you, Pa.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Padino.
Bye-bye.